Hello, everyone. Um, I'd like to welcome you all here, Sue and Jack and Jeff and Megan. I just want to say that I'm impressed that you all could be here today. Um, um, and in this way, how you're rallying together as a family on behalf of Megan. And I want to just start with you, Sue, since you arranged this meeting today. What, if I could ask, are you hoping we'll accomplish here today? And Jack, do you share Sue's concerns? Okay, Jeff, um, how is all this impacting you? You've heard what your mom and dad have said. I just want to, go around the room and see, what you're experiencing. And Megan, um, I want to add that it's pretty amazing that you would be here today and that you've made it back to school. Um, how is school going for you? Do you guys see each other at school? Okay, so now with regard to the conflict, um, Sue and Jack, it sounds like you each have a lot to say. But I have to let you know, I can't hear both of you. Um, so I'm wondering, so that I make sure I can hear you both, that you each hear each other and what you're saying. Can we take turns here? Sue, why don't you go first? Is that okay, Jack? And then we'll hear from you. Okay. And Sue, I wondered at this point, and Jeff and Megan, we're going to just, I want you to notice what's going on with mom and dad. I know you can't not notice because they're right in the room here. Um, but let's just listen to them for a minute and let's just see um, how much they heard from each other. Let's see how that works. Um, since you went first, Sue, how about Jack? You go. Tell me what you heard Sue say. Say it as clearly and exactly as you heard her say it. And then again, Sue, you'll have the chance to do the same. Now, I'm going to turn to the children for a minute. And do you hear mom and dad argue in this way at home? Jeff? And when that's going on, is that something that you, let's say, Jeff, you walk by? Do you ever get involved in it? Do they ever involve you in that argument? Like, in particular, this issue that they're talking about right now. And Megan, I would think that this would be uncomfortable for you. That you look a little uncomfortable right now. Is it this that's making you uncomfortable, or is it just being here? And I work with Megan a little bit. So with regard to homework, I'm going to ask you all to be aware this week of arguments that look like this, that look like, and if I can be frank, one person, it looking like the argument is more important than what each other is saying. So, and that could happen with you. It sounds like it might happen with you too. It might happen with you, Jeff, and Dad or Mom. And it might happen with you, Jeff, and Megan. So if something like that is happening, I want you to just be aware of it. Like, take a notice this week of those times. And when the argument is over, or you choose to leave the room, or however that conflict ends, I'd like for you to write down a few thoughts about that particular argument, just to separate yourself from that argument. And the other thing I'd like you to try this week is after that argument has happened, or if you're able, in the middle of the argument, I want you to see what kind of feelings are going on in your body. Now that's kind of something that is hard to get to, because arguments usually, like it's happening with Mom and Dad today, the argument takes priority over your own feelings or the other person's feelings. That argument is what is drawing us in. So if when you get back to your room or later that evening, you can write down a few thoughts about what happened, like just at the end of the day, just kind of write down a few things, maybe a few feelings, maybe identifying a feeling while it's happening or when you go back to your room. And use breathing. Notice your breathing, either during or after. And here's a bolder move. If anyone is feeling particularly bold while an argument's happening and you are overwhelmed by it, you just can't even participate in it, or if you're observing it, I want you to just be in the room and sit down. So you're walking through the room, you're noticing Mom and Dad, and if you're feeling safe, and a lot of therapy is about feeling safe enough to make a change, I want you to sit down wherever you are. And it can be you, Sue and Jack. It can be you while you're in the middle of an argument. You just say, I'm changing the energy here. I'm going to sit down. And that will signal a change in the moment. I don't know what it'll be. You'll get to know. You might go back to your room later and say, boy, I wish I would have sat down, But yeah, So see what happens with that, and we'll meet again next week.